Hey guys, almost healthy Bowie here, and today we're talking about 7.07's new vintage technology, Miracle's Carry Slardar. If you follow my social media, you were probably expecting a mid-Skyref video. Well, I'm still finishing the idea, but get ready to be blown away. Also, I'm back to 5k playing him, and I feel like the hero will be noticed eventually, but I'm a little bit curious to Miracle's sudden interest in strength cores. Is he hitting the gym with Blitz or something? I don't know. This is the same opener he used on the Night Stalker video. I'm quite down with it. Having early magic one nowadays is quite nice because of the HP regen, and I'll start this video differently. I'm not saying Miracle misplayed here, but nowadays, if you block your creep wave as a safe laner and the enemy offlaner doesn't block it, what happens is that the creeps get so much closer to your tower that you don't have the time to deny your range creep, making your lane push. It's kind of a bet, honestly, but most of the time I feel like as a safe laner, you probably shouldn't block yours because it's pretty hard to block the Radiant off lane anyways. Slardar is a freaking 700 HP, 6 armor buffed fish that has haste with the click of a button, so Miracle is not afraid to contest Earthshaker for less hits this game, especially because the enemy has a Rubik Silencer, not the scariest heroes to play against. Denies are even better this patch than the last one, so you can see how he even spends mana to try to get a deny for himself. Since Dire supports are actually high MMR, they know how to approach ganks when the lane is pushed, and they get an easy kill on Earthshaker even though the lane was pushing quite hard, so Earthshaker felt safe. One thing to point out is Miracle's skill usage. Most players would freaking click sprint right at the beginning, giving the gank away. The way Miracle approaches it, he just boops Earthshaker once until the enemy understands that he has to enchant totem. Since his stun is faster though, he gets it, and he still didn't pop sprint. It's often the case in these ganks that you get stuck, and if you pop it way too soon, maybe it would end before the kill. So it's always nice to be sure you can get the kill. Also, he will take extra damage if he pops the sprint first, so that's also something to consider. So only after the Fisher he goes for it, and that's a dead shaker. We start seeing how strong Slardar with levels really is at level 5. The stun duration starts to resemble the old era, and the damage is quite legit. We can see Miracle acting as soon as he gets level 5, indicating that this was a power spike he wanted to use ASAP. He was actually expecting to get the level 5 with the range deny, stutters back to the other range creep, he pops sprint immediately, finishes threads in the side shop, and even with the duration ending, he approaches Earthshaker. It's also interesting to see that Miracle does not thread switch when he's playing Slardar, and knowing this guy, he is the king of it. During sprint, since you take extra damage, the thread switch can hurt your HP pool by a lot, so I'm guessing that's why he doesn't do it, but correct me if I'm wrong. His clicking patterns are very good too, always using sprint's phase movement to keep attacking at all times. He starts disengaging as he notices the TP reaction, but that was actually a bait. His cooldown is ready again, Fissure was used, he felt like he could power through the support. Silencer shows up though, and we see him retreating again. He immediately eats a tango, stuns 3 heroes while killing Earthshaker, and since Sprint is back again with the magic wand usage, he's able to survive through it all. It's slightly sad since he lost his self instantly and even then survived, so he would actually be able to regen back to a lot of HP, but that was a sick play. He keeps on juking the enemies, and pay attention how this was not a mindless juke. He's only buying time to have Sprint and Slithering Crush together, and now that he has it, he stops juking at all, and voila! This is how you win TIs, boys. That fight was so long that Shaker is back, but with Crush having smaller cast point, he saves himself again. Snatches a rune and even waits his storm to shrine up. What a lad. Kinda like Night Stalker, Slardar is a carry that has a lot of muscle, bullying 3 heroes out of the lane pretty much, and on top of that a lot of move speed. So snatching those bounty runes are very easy, and it seems like a theme on his recent pub hero pool. And there he is, doing it with no fear whatsoever. He lost 1 creeping lane for 120 gold, so it feels quite worth it for me. And boys, this is it. If you're not convinced by core Slardar, prepare to be. Silencer shows up in lane, and Miracle is just chilling. He wants some crapples, but but those two supports keep annoying this poor fish boy. More important than anything though, look when Miracle decides to go aggressive and put an halt to this madness. Fade Bolt gets used, Arcane Curse misses, and he actually only starts with the ult, but when Rubik spans the only disable they have, this is go time. Obviously he prioritizes Crush in the haze target, and boy, that fish can deal damage. Now most people would YOLO on the Rubik, but Mr. Miracle here, since he has the hindsight, goes, buys an armlet in the side shop, and oh, by the way, this only happens because he actually bought all the items and the recipe brought it to him to actually finish in the side shop. Just crispy play overall. He doesn't even resort to his magic wand to do all of this. He TPs back to base, once again uses the move speed to get the bounties, and it's easy for him since no one even dares to go to that part of the map now, and we see another change that makes the hero more viable. He was considering farming more or rotating, and with Invoker so far back and a lot of fighting going on bottom, he knows he can in uncontested. Usually, people would get the high ground route so that it takes more time for the enemy to notice you're coming. When you have 700 move speed though, things change. Oh, by the way, if you're against a Rubik, he gets 700 move speed in the river as well when he steals your sprint, so be aware. Another side note is that he only gets bash at level 11. This hero wants level 4 sprint because of the river thing. You also want to max stun duration and damage. Skipping your ult is a sin, and the bash is not the best value point honestly. Your attack speed is kinda shitty in the early game, the proc chance is meh, and I guess the only arguable thing about his build here is whether you get the regen at level 10 or 11 instead. The regen is quite nice because of the way it scales now, as well as it allows you to farm ancients and other stuff without losing significant portions of your HP. As Miracle finishes his blink dagger, he kinda glances over the map. You can say that he was looking for a gankable lane, and luck hits the door pretty fast. Since he's not full mana, I like that he thread switches to TP and stun, and then goes back to strength straight away and never thread switches during the fight again. Until this point, you probably thought that Carry Slardar will struggle against PA since she has evasion, but my dear friend, his stun deals physical damage and his amp guts her of every dream she ever had. Also the ult and the damage from the ult go through BKB. After the kill we see the instant clarity delivery, and because of it, he has the mana to kill Rubik right after. It's all in the details that Clarity was being fared since he first TP'd to help his team. He was fairing the Clarity because he knew he was low on mana, so he thread switches and stun. He only gets the kill to stun PA because all of that, so I mean, this guy knows how to play Dota. So what I'm about to show you guys is age restricted, so I beg to all my viewers not flag this video. Slardar sees the lane pushing, Earthshaker in the lane, textbook play. You just hide in the fog and you get the kill. He knows Echo was on cooldown from the last fight. I didn't show you guys because Miracle died and I'm trying to make him look good. But Shaker runs towards the river, and we all know fishes love water. With 700 move speed, this guy marches towards a completely different fight, even though his TP was on cooldown, and grabs the most important target. After Shaker, Invoker has the biggest amount of disables, and even though Slahser was the easier kill, he ults Invoker because of Ghost Wall. Piece of cake. And then look at PA. Pretty much had the stun ready, but against a no-stun hero, ulting first is almost always better, unless in risk of imminent danger, and one stun with the ult takes like 15% of her HP and she dies. Since everyone died in a spam of 40 seconds, Miracle has the safety to go to the high ground area knowing full well no one is there. He's betting on someone TPing to that shrine. That's quite common nowadays, and the worst case scenario is him leaving since no one showed up, because they have vision there or something, but Invoker TPs. Look how bad Ice Wall looks here. Granted, that's a level 10 Invoker, but Miracle just lives with no care in the world. But he doesn't completely disengage or goes back. He keeps using the river as a means to engage and disengage very fast since he has that much move speed. And look at this play here. A lot of players will be tempted to jump that PA. It's obviously a downplay, but by looking at the entire fight, instead of tunnel visioning, he actually gets the better value crush in two other heroes in the other side. Armlet toggles for the win, and oh boy, this guy just never stops to impress us. PA is under corrosive haze, and he was trying to bait her. He knows he can dodge dagger with his blink, and he gets the kill. Even though he overextended a little bit there, just a great fight. Another cute benefit of Carry Slardar is the fact that you can pretty much solo Roshan when you have level 3 ult. It's not super fast, but definitely doable without lifesteal, which for most carriers nowadays is a luxury. And by the way guys, this is how you help your core tank Roshan. You get on top of that dude, like really on top of it, and your carry attacks from max range, so then it will change aggro. Also, now that the Roche Stomp got buffed even harder, pay attention how Zeus is not unnecessarily walking close to Roche there. It actually deals a lot of damage. While his Roche usage was not flashy, this goes to show how strong this hero can be. Miracle is a level 20 Slardar in pretty much 20 minutes without farming 100 creeps. Being able to leverage his lane that hard while creating space and getting Roshan so early feels pretty strong in this patch, and while he doesn't kill anyone, he was pretty durable, like here, allowing his team to clean up everyone after his death. Honestly, I feel like if he didn't pop sprint, he would be able to survive until his team gets there and he would get both kills, but I guess he was just trying to run away. There was so much slow that sprint actually didn't matter at all in terms of move speed, and he was taking damage. In regards to talent, I'm down on the 300 HP instead of Bash. While the Bash feels great, there's a lot of burst damage in the enemy team, and you're always losing HP from Mordihian in team fights, while also using sprint, which increases the damage you take. I was actually quite surprised that he didn't take the night vision though at level 20. Of course, attack speed is great, but it's only 50 at level 20, while 1000 night vision seems quite a lot to me. I mean, this is a pub and maybe he's just experimenting with it. You can try both options and see what works for you. Just a few moments later, we see his tankiness being of great use to his team again. You can see how useless Slardar feels without BKB when he's not getting pickoffs. You get kited a lot, even though sprint got purged by tornado. He's so tanky, he survives. Also pay attention to this specific decision. Look at his clicking patterns. He could have gone either left or right, but instead, since Blink was still on cooldown, he goes towards the nearest fog because he knows there are blinks available in the enemy team. Only because he did that, he actually managed to blink away, dodges the Sunstrike by accident, and his team wins the fight. This hero does fall off though, especially if you take the greedy route towards Caress before BKB. Miracle died like 2 times until the 20-minute mark, and in 10 minutes he died 3 times again. The reason people like to say this hero does not work on pubs is that they're either not skilled enough or disciplined enough. Miracle was not the most disciplined player in the game, but he makes up for it in skill. And in my opinion, this game could be even easier if he just played slightly more conservatively. But again, if you want to make this work, don't let this hero's power spikes trick you. He's viable, but you're not a PA, you have no lifesteal, and you need to respect the limits of your hero, which means that probably after 20-25 minutes, you're not that strong anymore unless you have a BKB, so you shouldn't be the one initiating fights. Try to engage in fights that are already happening, try to not get picked off by yourself, because you're gonna die. Well guys, this wraps up for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. As of always, this video is sponsored by Pvgna. Those guys are great. They're helping this channel ever since its beginning, so if you're interested in videos about 7.07 patch, check my link in the description. There's also Oracle. It's gonna help you get way better in the game, and I mean, if you want to get better in the game and are already using Oracle, I'm actually coaching on Gamer Sensei now. I mean, if you're interested, I can maybe review you some secrets about my Skyref shenanigans that got me back to 5k pretty fast, and I feel like it's actually going up. This hero is insane, but I mean, it doesn't matter if you want to learn anything. If you like my videos and you feel like I can help you, the link is also down below. And yeah, that's it for today, boys.